Hello, today we will continue the story. If you haven't seen it, I advise you to watch the previous video. Enjoy. Feng Mo brought the snow snake crystals. Even though there is not much hope, it is worth a try. When he becomes the head of the family, he will do everything to restore his brother's family name. Idiot brother, the real cause of his illness is the Feng family. But he didn't give up the crystals. The shadow servant has acquired the ability to be immune to death. Meanwhile, Zhong Yuan ordered a delivery, and the courier asked him to leave a good review. He also told me to contact him by phone in the future and get a 20% discount. These must be the badger crystals. But there was also some kind of love note. It's a bad idea to ask Si and Han, because he will probably take a picture of this note and post it somewhere. Zhong Yuan decided that he would give it to him himself the next time they met. So I decided to absorb the crystals. The Phantom Badger crystal has the following abilities: Fearless, Fury Strike, Poison Eater. He decided to try out a rage attack with a sword. Now he was using it better and his fencing looked better. Meanwhile, the student council had a small conflict. Leibo was against people like Zhong Yuan joining the disciplinary committee. A member of the disciplinary committee must be strong and moral, so they can't take just anyone. But Shangguan did not mind Zhong Yuan joining them as an assistant. A crystal becomes a crystal only after the death of the being in which it existed as energy. You can't compare the human structure with that of other races. Pregnant women are strictly forbidden to experiment with crystals. In the dining room, Zhong Yuan looked after Lan Lan, but she is no longer a child. Xie and Han decided to sit down with them. But Zhong Yuan was absolutely against it because he would be courting his sister. But Si and Han won't do that. In any case, they'll have to wait until she's an adult. Are they really brother and sister? Zhong's release on the train. And what is the president of the student union thinking about? But this is a joke. Zhong Yuan takes everything seriously. Zhong Lan began to worry about him because his glasses were broken, and without them he scares people. Without them, Xie and Han's eyes shone. He must have some hidden talent. The fact is that when his mother was 3 months pregnant, she failed to absorb the crystal, but he absorbed it, and Se Han was born a real warrior, his body stronger than ordinary people. The teacher said that such things were strictly forbidden, but Zhong Yuan didn't care about that because it had nothing to do with it. Oh, I almost forgot, Zhong Yuan is now a member of the disciplinary committee, so he's on patrol at lunchtime. The academy is a decent place, there are almost no fights, but the union has been bad lately, but Xie and Han will help. Zhong Lan also wanted to enroll to skip classes, but her brother was against it. The first shift came, and the students were delighted with the new warden because he was handsome. However, someone is following him. They agreed to meet at 3 o'clock behind a pole 15 meters away. Without special skills, they can't be detected so easily, but the hooligans were confident. They told Zhong Yuan to take off his clothes and kneel down and bark. It's a special welcome to the academy, and Zhong Yuan was not opposed to them doing it. After that, one of the hooligans attacked using the technique of terrifying sound waves. In response, Zhong Yuan used the technique of fearlessness, which removes control over the mind. Now it is too late to beg for mercy. Zhong Yuan easily dealt with him. The hooligans were stunned because only a few had ever managed to resist his trick before. They took their leader and ran. It's a nightmare who could just attack a harmless person. Zhong Lan stopped them and ordered them to pull out their phones. The hooligans begged for mercy and gave the phone back. And now she told him to put him down on the ground, to lean on his 2 hands. It was a great pose, and she decided to take a few pictures to send them to his friends. Now his partners will explain to their friend that it is wrong to behave like that. I filmed the whole process, and if they listen, I'll send it to him. At the infirmary, Xie and Han came to see him. This guy is so cruel, not only did he beat him up, but he also published a photo. If I had told them about it earlier, they wouldn't have had so much fun. Xie Han wanted to know more about what he had done to him. He told us that he used his signature move as usual, but he was not only unharmed, but also nailed to the ground. The waves had no effect on him, so he had successfully absorbed fearlessness. Yi Han was surprised that Zhang Yuan didn't even draw his weapon, which meant that he had absorbed the blow of rage. They are enemies now, how can he study with them? There's no business in him, he'll stay at home for a couple of months and then come back. And such injuries cannot be cured with the help of techniques. Xie Yihan went to Zhong Yuan to hand over the 68th place badge. This badge shows the place in the combat power ranking, which is open only to young people under 28 years of age. He was registered as Xuan Ming to hide his real identity. But Zhong Yuan didn't like his new name, and he didn't particularly want to be in that ranking. But Seihan really wanted him to be because he was like a storehouse of talent, a god of war, a real king. So if he doesn't move up the list, there will be questions, and by the way, Xian Han brought him a weapon. This is a development of the Supervision Bureau, improved version of the trial sample. They needed to take you to the training ground to try it out, but Zhong Yuan was not particularly eager. Xie Han made sure that he had indeed succeeded in absorbing the blow of rage. I also finally learned how to handle a cold steel weapon. Daddy is proud of him. He is quite meticulous, even the blades are made for him prepared. Sometimes groups of shooters train here, and you can try to practice with knives using plates. The plate launching machine told him to get ready and move 20 meters away from the machine. The first round would start after 3 beeps. Zhang Yuan took the knives in his hands and took a stance. He successfully knocked everything down, so the car is ready to accelerate. Zhong Yuan successfully knocked down all the plates and got 100 points. As expected, it is simply impossible to stop. He was so busy with his training that he almost forgot to meet with a person by appointment. Here is the fishing pier, why is there no one here? Suddenly, from the helicopter, a girl threw down a ladder and told him to get up. Her appearance is truly unique. She thought he wouldn't come, so she was very happy that she hadn't worked so hard for nothing. She thought that one day he would understand. But when I looked closely, I realized that I had hugged someone else. He didn't actually see the note, it got to Zhong Yuan, and he came to explain everything. That is, these stocks of crystals were for him, so she got confused. If he was a parcel for him, then he is strong, and they need such talents. Now they have a new guy, we're going back as soon as possible. They decided to introduce themselves. Her name is Inhabited, she is the leader of the Gods of War team, Zhan Hu is in charge of operations, Xiang Yu Ba is in charge of team defense, Wu Jun is a doctor, and Mao Wei is a scout. Zhong Yuan introduced himself as Xuan Ming. He was very happy because now he had to do the task instead of Feng Yu Mo. However, the current mission is not an easy one. A week ago, several people entered the site to engage in poaching. The nearest units went there some time ago, but all were poisoned by an unknown toxin, and we lost one of our team. Feng Yu Mo is immune to toxins, so Ankai Ji wanted to ask him for help. Zhong Yuan can't chill alone on an airplane. He was confident, so Xiang Yu Ba wanted to teach him a lesson, but he was frozen for a couple of seconds. Freezing itself will take a couple of minutes. An Kai Jai did not know that freezing could last so long, so she was surprised. To justify his power, Xuan Min said that he has a skill that enhances the power of others. The team decided to ask him more about his skills. Why have you never heard of such a strong man before? Xuan Min did not have a weapon, so he borrowed a dagger from them. According to the latest information, poachers are somewhere in the area, everyone be on the lookout and keep your guard up. Suddenly, Xuan Min stopped them, it seems that there are several animals ahead, about 900 meters away. It looks like a pack of wolves, something attracted them. The wolves here are bait for monsters, they are regularly fed, the fact that they are here and the units are destroyed is a bad omen. The smell of meat is so strong that it's not even difficult to find its source, I'm afraid it's some kind of trap. Xuan Ming decided to be a bait for them to show themselves, he is not afraid of poison, so it is a good idea. An Kai Jai was surprised because this ability is very difficult to obtain. Before leaving, she made Xuan Ming invisible for 5 minutes. When he came out, the wolves did not attack him, but howled, showing that the enemy was near. Several people on both sides jumped on it. In 25 seconds, he killed everyone. A couple of seconds later, the scorpion venom was activated. The poison was so weak that he got bored. Suddenly, he dropped 2 daggers into the bushes and hit the enemies in the head. For Xuan Min, they were very weak. His team was surprised because they hadn't been seen at all. On Kaiji noticed the daggers, they looked like the ones the Supervision Bureau was working on, and there was a number. This is not the most popular weapon, maybe a special model. This guy is definitely not that simple. He killed those people so calmly, you shouldn't ask him any questions. He was praised for his knife skills, they thought he trained a lot, but he didn't. Xuan Min trained daily with symbols on the device that was no longer used due to the difficulty of training. Xuan Ming didn't understand why they were so surprised. Did you need any ability to pass these levels? In this operation, the enemies used wolf pack management abilities, scorpion venom, and super camouflage at least 3 times. On Kaiji asked him about the poison, whether it was indeed scorpion venom. Because many of the fighters are still in the hospital because doctors could not recognize the poison. Therefore, we urgently need to contact the hospital. The current treatment is not a panacea. Now Xuan Min has saved many lives. It turns out that most professionals are not so strong. Not everyone can absorb the power of the crystal, so technology is indispensable. Now they are targeting poachers, so it is best to catch them first. They will not be able to escape. It's best to take someone hostage to organize negotiations, as single units like these guys are much easier to intimidate than, for example, regular military. Therefore, the best option is to wait for them. Suddenly, another group of people comes to them. The main guy's name is Robs, he's one of the strongest guys in all of Germany, so you have to be careful with him. They were surprised to see Zhao Zhen with poachers, the country had invested so much in him, and he got involved with poachers. But this is not true, after his refusal they suppressed his strength, deprived him of all his resources. If not for outside help, he would never have known what it means to be free and happy, to have everything you want, not to mention power, unlike in China, where ordinary people can't even get to the crystals. His conversation was interrupted by Xuan Min throwing a dagger directly at his head. But his partner fought off the attack. I think we need to use something else. Robs took his dagger and appreciated the forging skills in China. Too bad their owner has no grace. Those who have insulted our country will be punished, and traitors will die, but I do not intend to have discussions with the future dead. Initially, Robs planned to leave them alone, but Xuan Min is quite an interesting guy, so he offered to join them, guaranteeing excellent conditions. Xuan Min asked for the knife back. While Robs was returning the knife, he discreetly asked Wu Jun to lower his skills by 20% for 10 seconds. And he repeated that there are no negotiations with the dead. He froze them by throwing 3 daggers at the enemies. However, the dagger was repelled by Robs. The sneaky Chinese attacked from behind. Not only did Robs stop his knife, but he was able to break free of the ice, so how hard would the blow have to be to damage him? While he was thinking, Robs quickly delivered a powerful punch to his stomach. Wu Jun could not treat him after such a blow. His heart is not beating, he is not breathing. Xuan Ming may be cold, but there's no need to bury him right away. Meanwhile, from behind, Xiang Yuba grabbed Robs so that his partners could hurt him. Robs decided to use his true strength. This is a unique ability of a fire giant. This guy is a real pro in melee combat. And Kaiji decided to break the sound barrier in the 600-meter range. Their tricks are working again. At this rate, his human body will simply burn out. For the glory of his country, he increased the pressure of his fire. They are no match for him, and he needs to retreat. Xuan Min proposed a one-on-one match, and if Robs wins, he will have a better chance of survival. So he agreed to let him demonstrate what he could do. Their presence will only get in the way, so they should trust us and retreat. When they escaped, Xuan Min demonstrated his true power. The fire disappeared around Robs, and an invisible air wall appeared. This is a special ability that changes the temperature of the air. The formula is simple, you just need to consider its temperature and cooling time, so that the pressure can be changed and the space around it can become a vacuum. The next stage of the skylight will simply burn the human body. Fire cannot exist in a vacuum, Robs lost in physics. The effect was over, now the weakness would set in. Xuan Ming didn't lose consciousness due to the increased abilities. From it, he received a crystal with the following abilities. Incredible Strength Level 3, Armor Level 2, Fire Giant Disaster Level 1. Of course he had a special crystal. It seems these don't explode like ordinary ones, but are hidden inside. Why is there nothing about this in the textbooks? Most of the abilities cannot be improved anyway, so there's not much point in it. So I decided to just bury it and pretend I didn't see anything, since they were poachers and there was probably something useful in the backpacks. That's right, there were yellow crystals. They killed several small bears for this purpose, burned them alive, but if such a person came for these crystals, they must be quite valuable. So I decided to take them over. He has a super cute ability that makes the enemy unable to resist your charm. When they saw that the fire was gone, the team decided to check on Xu Min. An Kai Jian was very happy to see him alive, so she ran to hug him, but fell. The task completed, Xu Min wanted to return to the academy. Because his sister is waiting, she will be angry if he doesn't come. So they quickly went to the academy. This is the end of the recounting of several chapters. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon.